Welcome back. This is Shaukat from Brisbane, Australia. It is still 11 a.m. with Parthiv Shah from E-Launches from the suburbs of Washington in the good old USA. Parthiv, I forgot to ask you a really important question last time, and that question is, what is the time? But before you answer me, what are we talking about? This is the 12 video sessions covering the one system. And this is video number 2. In video number 2, we're going to talk about half-built bridges of marketing. So Parthiv, what time is it and what is half-built bridges of marketing?
All right. Well, it is 9:05 p.m. here in Washington, D.C., USA. And it's a pleasure to be talking to you. Thank you for bringing me on this show. And as we talked in last video, this is a 12 video sequence. This is video number 2. And in this video, we're looking at this dude who is drawing stick figures. In case if you don't recognize this guy, his name is Ryan Dice. And here he is teaching a class to his digital marketer certified partners. I was one of the early adapters of this program. So back in the day, we were like 8 or 9 students in the room learning this concept from Ryan himself. So I was actually there when this was being shot. So here's the concept. It starts with a question. Are you stuck? Are you unhappy with the current state of marketing? Are you spending money on marketing but unhappy with the results? Are you trying to figure out if you were to cut back half of your marketing budget, what do you want to cut? Are you wondering what part of marketing is working and what is not working? So the problem is this, according to Ryan. You are here and your proverbial pot of gold is here, right? And so there is a valley in between. So what do you have to do? You try to build a bridge. But then as you're building, so for example, I want to do Facebook advertising. That's a bridge you want to build. I want to build LinkedIn marketing. I want to do direct mail. I want to do conversion funnels. Well, so you jump from bridge to bridge to bridge and you begin building a whole bunch of bridges. But the reality is, until you finish building at least a bridge, nothing happens. So according to Ryan, half-built bridges are actually not only a zero-sum game, it's actually dangerous. You're busy, you're doing a whole bunch of things, but you're not getting results.
You're chasing your tail, you're getting nowhere, you're getting frustrated. People are asking you, you put all this money in, you're living off our credit cards, what's going on? Why are you working 100 hours a week and you're still not making much, or you're still making the same as before?
Yeah. So what are you supposed to do? If this is the point of frustration, what are you supposed to do?
Keep changing marketing agencies.
Yeah. Here's what you should do. What you gotta do is you got to find out one thing that you must do, and for the next 100 days, do it. Get some results. Not just start, but finish what you started. Stick to your guns. Unless you're convinced that what you have done is wrong, just play it out and do something that actually is done from start to finish. And according to Ryan, there are 73 different things you can do to grow your business. So no wonder you feel overwhelmed. No wonder you feel
But how is a small business supposed to, small or even a medium business supposed to do 73 different things?
So
You don't have
I
to answer it
learned,
now, maybe it's later, but just quickly.
yeah.
Because that's the first thing
So
I'm thinking. Oh, well, how do you do 73 things?
okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, um, I learned from Ryan a system called CVO, or Customer Value Optimization. Another concept that he taught a few years ago called VJC, or Value Journey Canvas. And all of them became part of a one system implementation ABCD or any business can do. So I have this 40-page little workbook that I use. And I'm literally going page when I talk to a client, when I'm taking on a client and when I'm doing something from one of my private clients, follow the same system. It's a 40-page booklet. I am literally going through the whole checklist, page by page, religiously. And just like a pilot has their checklist, I have my checklist. And this little booklet is my checklist, my one system checklist.
So it's
Do you
like the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a
one
time.
by a
You
time?
shouldn't eat elephants. That's not nice. It's pretty cruel.
Yeah.
But if you're going to eat one, you're still going to have to do it one bite at a time.
So let us rephrase that statement. How don't don't say how do you eat an elephant? Say how do you eat a banana split? And it is one spoon at a time.
One spoon at a time.
Okay. Do you want to look at my checklist? Go
Do we
to
have time to look at the checklist? Or
now. I can just tell you where you can download it. It's 44 pages. We have 3 minutes.
okay,
I'm almost at time. So
okay,
you would go to elaunchers.com/start. Go to elaunchers.com/start,
Elon.com.
START, start, and download the checklist.
So the second video summary of this is don't build half-built bridges. You've worked a
Yes.
lot, you've done a lot, and sometimes you don't even know. You think you've built a bridge, but it's not complete.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's bad advice. What are some of the reasons why someone might feel that they built a bridge, but it's actually in reality they haven't? What would be some of the reasons?
Well, you started, but you don't know where you're going. You don't have articulated your win conditions. So you don't know when you arrived at the destination. You have not clearly identified your success and your failure. So sometimes you don't know that it failed, but you're still carrying the dead body on your shoulder.
Hmm.
Sometimes you started something that felt like a good idea at that time, but as you get forward, you know you are on the wrong train. You just don't know how to get out of it. And in most cases, you are surrounded by people who don't have courage to tell you to stop. This is not working. It's over. Let's turn around and go home. Tomorrow we'll start something new. People are afraid to acknowledge failure, whereas failure is part of our life. I mean, I do marketing. I fail more than half the times.
But you're a
If I,
marketing guru. How can you fail?
I'm first of all, I'm not marketing guru. I'm a student of marketing. Okay, number one. Number two, failure is part of life. You achieve success through deductive reasoning. Eventually, you run out of things that can go wrong. You might get lucky and strike gold in attempt one, but it doesn't always work that way.
And
I
even if it does, it usually doesn't turn out that well because you attribute it to yourself when in
Mhm.
reality it was just luck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You don't even know why you're successful and you think you're a big shot. And we see
Well,
a lot of people out there.
yeah,
They
you're right.
go, they
They get
climb
caught.
through the Fortune 500 and then they fizzle out like a shooting star. And they have no idea what happened.
Exactly. Yeah, there is a book on that subject called $20 million and Broke. But that's a conversation for some other day. Let's just talk about
Yes.
embracing failure. Okay. So you want to fail fast, fail often, document the failures and the reason why,
Learning from it.
and learning from it. You also want to build a database of things that can go wrong. You want to build a logical path of arriving at the controls that is now finally working. And when you find something that actually works, you test it to make sure it works.
I think we got technical issues.
Again,
I don't know
using
if you can
assets.
hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay. I thought my computer froze for a second. Would you mind just repeating the last sentence?
Okay. So the big idea is to fail fast, fail often, learn from your failures, and eventually you will arrive at a proven tested marketing process, a formula that will become an income producing asset for a very long time. So
It's
Ryan and I
interesting
talk,
how we do this when we're babies. We watch, we fall, we
yep,
learn, we fall, we learn. We don't give up after 3 months. We don't give
no,
up after 6 months. You
yep,
we up. We don't tell our own children that look, it's month 18. This guy's not a walker. You're gonna be in wheelchair for life. But
no,
somehow, when we get older, you're
yeah,
supposed to get it right the first time. Or we hear ridiculous notions like 3 strikes and you're out. Imagine giving your children 3 strikes. No, none of us would be walking,
exactly.
right?
See,
So,
you call
so
me
that's
guru,
so
right?
that's no longer a marketing principle, right? This is a principle of life. You
This is a
make your
principle.
mistakes, you fail fast, you learn from it.
Yes. Look, man, I'm not a marketing guru, okay? I am a kid who stopped growing when he was 10. I'm a child at heart, and in my marketing department, in my office, I am a child at play. That's what makes this a joy. Was
So
this
the
helpful?
summary of this is very helpful. Quick summary: building half bridges. Sometimes
Hmm.
people think they've built a bridge, but they really haven't, or they built a bridge that's not strong. I would like to add that. So it collapses. The
Yep.
foundation's not there. But in many cases, it is a shiny object syndrome. They go from Facebook to Google to Instagram to this to that, and they haven't followed it through. You mentioned 100 days. It's not a 1 week, it's not a sprint. It is a marathon.
No, yeah,
So
you got
sometimes
to.
you're going to be in fifth place, sometimes you're going to be last, but you're in the race and you got to
Mhm.
get to the end to finish. You have to finish the race, right?
Sure.
And it might take a few races to come first. But if you're
Mm,
not even going to, if you're going to give up after running for 2 minutes,
mm,
well, that's a half-built bridge. If you're not going to
exactly.
learn from it, you'll keep making half-built bridges. And so again, coming back to this, why I brought you, right? It's not just marketing, it's not just business. It's business owners who feel frustrated, right?
Yep.
There's no need to feel frustrated, right? There is a formula to follow. We're going to talk about it as we go.
So
If things
speaking, yeah,
are not working out, we review the formula.
yeah. So speaking of formula,
Yeah.
can I tell you what we are going to do in the next video?
Yes, please.
Okay. Have you ever lost $1 million? Have you ever lost $1 million? How many people you know who have lost $1 million? I'm going to tell you something. You and almost everyone who's going to be watching this video will, not may, will lose over $1 million in foreseeable future. And in next video, we are going to talk about how $1 million is going to walk away from you.
That's a scary thought. So let's go to the next video.
But here's the good part. Once we know how you are going to lose $1 million, you now have a problem worth solving. You will actually want to do something to reduce, minimize, or eliminate that loss, right? So the first thing that you got to think about is, am I really at risk of losing this money? Will this loss really occur to me? Second, can this loss really be stopped? And third, can I really stop this loss? And the answer to all this question is yes. You can lose this $1 million. Not just once, but multiple times in your lifetime. Yes, this loss can be stopped. Not completely, but for the most part. And yes, you can do something about it without buying fancy schmancy systems or without hiring expensive marketing gurus or consultants or counselors. You can do it. You can do everything yourself, or you can hire someone to do it. But in next video, we are going to talk about 8 things that you could do to stop this loss. What do you think? Good idea? Should we go to the next video?
To those statements. So let's get started.
All right. So I will see you on the next video.